Hey, Claire, I'm here. I'm gonna try to
Hello.
listen. I'm at the Christmas course.
Ah, well, hey. How you doing? All right. So who else is in here? Let's see. April and Janaya. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are amazing. Okay, I'm going to spotlight myself. If anybody wants to come on. So here's the plan for today. Today is December 14th, 2023. It's about to be the end of the year, y'all. It's exciting. So, what I want to do today, I'm going to share my screen real quick, because of course we can do hot seat, regular Q&A, but I wanted today to be a little bit different because I have some things that I want all of us to start working on as we are rounding up the end of the year. So, I'm going to share my screen and show you what my thoughts are, really quick. And when others come on, they will get in where they fit in. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. All right, so I put my thoughts in order. So full transparency, my brain is like off a little bit. I have not eaten today. I am having surgery tomorrow, so I cannot eat. And I'm like, and they got me on like all these medicine, like all this stuff I had to do to prep my body. And I have like a massive headache and I feel weak and I just feel like, when you don't eat, you feel all weird anyways. It takes a while. I think there's like phases of starvation you go through when you don't eat, but I am drinking water. I've left my water bottle somewhere. So in the meantime, I'm drinking out of plastic, which I usually don't do. Um, Let me pull up the chat so I can see who's here. Hey, Tashanta. Keto, is that keto or what is that? The phases of starvation? I don't know.
Yeah, I
Keisha
think
wrote,
so. You go into ketosis or something, they say.
oh, ketosis. Yes. I thought you meant like keto diet. I was like, is that the
Yeah,
diet?
but yeah, ultimately, I think so.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so I just felt a little whatever. So I had to write it down. So I wanted, so this is of course, our weekly live coaching call. I want us to start getting into the mood or the idea of our end of the year reflections and really kickstarting our family business in the new year. What does that look like for each of us? Obviously, it's going to be a personal thing. So I took some notes of what I want us to all kind of like think about, consider, and I'll drop this doc wherever when I put the video up. So you'll have access to this too. Excuse me, either you can work off this or really as you can see, I'm recommending that you use your Simple Plan Planner. Everybody has access to that. If you don't have access to that, let me know. Why did my mouse stop working? What happened? If you don't have it, oh, there we go. If you don't have access to that, let me know and I will give it to you. But really, I want us to start this process. And usually around this time of year, you're going to start to see a lot of people like, selling planning or new year, new you implementation sessions or marketing strategies or goal setting workshops or whatever, right? We don't need that because we're going to do that, right? So when you see it, don't buy it because anything that they're going to do is going to be a template that they're going to give you. It's going to be something that they created that worked for them or something that they found. And it's not really necessarily going to be something that will absolutely serve you based on where you are in your business and what's going on. So because I have a more intimate relationship with each of your businesses, I really think that this is the best way to go. But again, you have to decide what works for you. So really what I want us to do, I don't want it to be a 2-hour workshop or a 3-hour workshop where you work through it. I really want us, because we're in a time of many of us of elevation and expansion. Some of us really feel like we're busting at the seams because the opportunities are so great and scary and awesome. Some of us are feeling like I had all this stuff I said I was going to do. Here we are at the end of the year, and I have this anxiety because I didn't get it done. It didn't look like I thought it was going to look. Whatever, wherever you are in that spectrum, it's fine. So I wanted to give us some more room, right? So tomorrow's December 15th. We're halfway through the month. We have to minus all the holiday, family day things that we have coming up in the next, 2-3 weeks, or going into the first week of the new year, because I could consider that still holiday time in most people's minds and families, households, or whatever. So let's just like kind of give yourselves a break and give yourselves like this, like just like decide that I have 3 weeks to decide, to think through, to plan for what I want my 2024 to look like, right? Not to say that it's 3 weeks, like do or die, but just to start giving yourself that room. Usually it's like, we got to figure, let me figure, like by December 31st, if we don't have a plan, it's over. Or you like, you put all this weight in this, like, it's almost like an icky expectation on ourselves because we have to have a New Year's resolution. Now I need a word. Now I need this. It's like so many things I didn't button up or I didn't embark on. Just release it, right? So what I'd rather us do is to start to reflect on like the past year, you know, and really like start to get to the point where we're willing and we're able to have conversations about the lessons that we learned this year, either personally, right, in your household, with yourself, internally, externally, whatever. And then more importantly, for what we do here, I mean, we do both, but also your business, right? Because I can help you with your business. We work, you know, we work on the mindset, a little of the personal stuff, but some of that personal work is a lot of work that while we touch on it here in the program, it's a lot of work that you have to that I can't necessarily guide you day by day through, right? But we can definitely create a plan for your business. And that's what I'm looking to do. So we want to think about setting goals and developing an action plan for this upcoming year, but nothing real tight, nothing that you have to hold real tight that like, this is what I have to, like, I want us to have a goal, because if we don't have a goal, we don't know what we're shooting for, what we're working towards. But like, just like, what's the nice to haves? How do I want to feel? Sometimes I think it's like, I want to launch this, I want to make this, like, those are what goal setting things look like, as opposed to like, this year, I want to be less anxious. This new year, or this just Q1, maybe let's just talk about Q1, you know, I want to sleep more. I want to feel like I'm more in control, you know, like, so those are the things I want you to start to consider and think through and write out. In regards to your business, I really want to encourage you again to use that simple plan planner. That is just 60 days, right? So again, I'm not asking you to solve, you know, build Rome in a day. It's more of just like, just the next 60 days, those objectives. What am I looking for? What would be nice to have? And then we kind of back our way back to like, okay, here we are now. What do we need to be doing each day, each week, each month to get to that goal? Okay. And then lastly, I really want us to start thinking about preparing for the challenges and the opportunities. So while a lot of time I feel like we put a lot of energy and effort into, you know, like all these good things are happening. I got an event in February. I'm traveling in March. I got vacation in May. You know, I'm going to be, you know, my new product and this is happening. And I got my book launch and I got my this and my classes start or whatever. We look at the opportunities, but we don't usually, from my perspective that I see, we don't pre-think through or plan for, or even just stop to reflect or consider the challenges that could potentially come up from those opportunities, right? It's like we do think about it, but we think about it from a fear base, or like, oh my God, I can't, I'm not ready, I can't, and we just melt, as opposed to being like, okay, here's the thing I have to do, or here's the big opportunity, this amazing moment that I want to tackle, or that has already come and like tap me on the shoulder that I'm ready to embark on or do. How am I feeling about that? Where do I feel like I'm not ready? What have I covered? And what do I feel like I'm missing? Right. And let me just sit with that and just think about, okay, those challenges, because challenges are good for us in our business, right? Because once we overcome it, usually it's no longer a challenge for us, right? Or we see it and we see it coming. It's like, I know you, I got you, know how to do that. Already did that. Problem solved quick, right? Remember, every round goes higher and it gets easier. Sometimes the only time it's business in our life is always going to be smooth and easy is if we're staying safe, right? That just means like that cycle, that 360, we're staying in the same place at the same time, and we just keep walking past the same shit we done seen before, doing the same stuff we done did before, and we're not trying anything new, right? So people are like, everything is great, it's awesome, it's perfect. It's like, yeah, because you're not doing it. You're just doing what you did last week, right? So that's not who we are, and that's not what we are. That's not what we're here for. So I really want us to start to think about those challenges and what might we have to overcome, and what do we really have to arm ourselves with as we move towards this next new opportunity, right? And just be real with it. Whether you're like, look, I might have to take a class, or I might have to, you know, I'm not sure about this. I might have to spend, 30 days with Tamara and Voxer to figure this out. Whatever it is, Or you might say, I need something tomorrow, but and I say, I don't do that, but let's figure out how we can get you closer to it, or who can we call on? Who can we connect with to actually get you over that hump, or to conquer that challenge or push through that challenge. Okay. So those are like the objectives of what I want to focus on. I want I want our mindset and our energy to start moving towards as we close out this year. So as you see up here, I put today's date. Actually, it's not today's date. Jeepers, my brain. I told you today's date and next week. Not next week. The week after next. That's what we'll be that's what we will be focused on. Not kind of. We'll be working on all these things, right? So your charge, and before we jump into hot seats and what's going on in Q&A and anything else that you all want to talk about today, is I really want you to think about, to sit down and find some space for that year-end reflection. And before the 31st, before the last week, even if it's like a 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes in the morning or at night, write it down. Just because I feel like these things, we never really give it enough space to unpack and just be like, you know what? Q1 was really hard. I went through that thing, but I didn't die. It was okay. Actually, I didn't sell as much. I didn't make as much. I didn't do as much, but I got a lot of sleep. Or I finally cleaned out my closet. Or I finally figured out what I like and what I don't like. I finally realized I was not meant to work for anybody else. Or I finally made this decision. Or I reconnected with my kids. Like, we don't give ourselves that space, so we need to do that because the win is there. If we pay attention and we do it right, or let me take that back, not do it right, because there's no wrong way to do it. If we commit to doing it at all and giving it its space, we'll find the win. Okay. So that's how I want us to start working towards our mindset shift for the new year and this whole idea of goal setting for the new year. I really want us to think about it different. So when you see all these things that are going to like vomit almost all over social media about, buy the thing because the support and help you for the new year, really just be like, do I really need this? Do I need another calendar? Do I need another 50 more prompts? You know what I mean? Like, what do I really need that is going to help me take the next best steps? Okay. These were just my notes, my brain notes. These don't even be on here when I share this with you. So does anybody have any questions about that, or thoughts or feelings about that? If any of you already started thinking about or like processing the, what's already happened this year and where you're going or where you want to go? Have you started thinking about it, or is it, are you feeling like it's too soon?
I haven't thought about it. I think it's too soon. I just wanted to say something because it's so quiet.
I know, but I'm learning to hold space. So I'm like, well, people figure it out or do whatever they're doing. I'm not gonna just run my mouth for the sake of running my mouth.
I'll speak.
Go ahead, April.
I definitely haven't thought about it. I'm just trying to get through and to physically just start selling our products.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't think it's too early to start thinking about. I just want you to give yourself, so it's going to be different for everyone. But I wanted to have this conversation today because I didn't want to come to you the last week of the year and be like, here's all the things you need to have ready. Right? I feel like we always have that pressure, and that's what we always do. And we meaning like humans, and what happens in our culture of this like end of the year brand new cycle that we do. And I really think it's important for us to give ourselves the space to start to think things through, even if it's I'm still just trying to get this thing done. It's like, okay, well, let me have 5 minutes to think about what I have already done, and then what do I want the next phase of this thing I'm trying to get done to look like, right? So it's going to happen for each of you. But even if you're trying to get something out, I encourage you all to create, give yourself space on your calendar to end, like business, like close. Like even at like our small business, if I wasn't like ending early because of like all the stuff I have going on, we close Xandra at a certain time, and it's like, okay, it's just our vacation time. Like we shut down at the end of the year. Y'all saw it on the Raising Mogul calendar. We're closed, right? So, and that's for everything, because I know I need space. I need time for me to reflect and for me to think and for me to plan and me to decide, or me to just sleep, or me to do whatever, right? I can't just hurry up and move into the next phase with excitement when I haven't fully digested the last phase. And I do that quarterly. So really the end of the year going to a new year, it's just the number change, right? So it's exciting. Happy New Year, all these things. And, I get excited. I'm excited in 2024 too, but it doesn't mean the same as what it used to mean, because I set different goals and boundaries and expectations for myself more recently that are not attached to the turn of a new year, So I just want to put it out there for you all to think through it. So we can jump into our hot seat and our Q&A, but next time we come together, we will be talking a little bit more in detail about that mindset shift. I'm hoping you all have an opportunity to go through your simple plan so that you can actually share what your plan is going to be for the first 60 days of 2020, Jesus. Tony. I have no idea. Oh, I need to eat food, guys. I have no idea why I said that. Whatever. Anyways, so and just that quickly, I don't even know what I was talking about. Mindset shift for the new year, our goal setting, using your simple plan planner. A lot of you who I met with either this week or last week, you're already using that as part of because you didn't really start it last month. So you're like looking at it for December and January, which is perfectly fine. So when we come together again, we just you just shift it, right? You add the new month on, but I'm only asking you to take it in chunks. That's why it's a 60-day planner, because sometimes when you think about sometimes we try to plan too much. It just gets too muddy and we overthink it and overdo it. And then we do nothing. Keisha said, I'm praying for you. Thank you. And then we'll start to go digger deep into like, what does it look like tomorrow to actually prepare for challenges and opportunities? Like, what does that look like in regards to systematizing things in the business and thinking things through things that haven't even happened yet, right? So that's what I want to talk about next time we connect. So thanks for letting me have the floor. All right, so let's see. We have Tashanta is here, April's here, Keisha's here, Nicole's here, Sharika. Nicole, so friends, I told Nicole next time we meet, or going forward when we meet, because she is on the other side of the world, and it's like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning for her. Not sure, because I can't remember. That if she needed us, I would let her take the floor first so that she can go ahead and go to bed. Nicole, you there? Let us know if you need me. If you need us, Hive Mind. Are you there? She might already be asleep on us, guys. All right, so who else is here? If Nicole comes, Nicole, you can have the floor when you come back. All right, does anybody else have any questions about anything I said? If you want to jump on the hot seat, how can we support you today?
I have something for the hot seat. Actually, I'm at the school, so I'm gonna walk away for a minute. But I told you I had been blessed with the opportunity to get a contract with the government. So I'm really excited about that. But when I looked at it and I started to explore, oh, Nicole is here. Nicole, do you want to go? Nicole, do you want to go?
You could go ahead. Yeah, I'm there.
No, you
Go
can go
ahead
because
and
I'm actually still in the school. I'd rather wait until I get out.
Okay, perfect.
Hey,
Okay,
Nicole.
so hey, golden evening, golden morning. So tell me what I'm doing. I'm just giving an update where I am, or
Giving us an
am I
update,
hot?
and then if you need us to walk, if you need to talk through anything or support.
So for me, one of my goals, like when we were doing our calls, like the mindset calls, one of the things that I've been working on, one parent manager, and just me trying to like step into my business as well as still support my daughter. It was kind of like releasing myself, being okay to tell people no, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't have much time to focus on my business, because I do a lot of things for free, because of the organizations that I'm in or the organizations that I'm a part of. So I started to through our sessions on Wednesday, start to feel comfortable. Like, it's okay to say no, or don't give them a hard no, but give them a soft no. But I already know I'm going to say no. So one of
Right.
the things that I've been working on heavily, we got a grant from one of my organizations, a whole lot of money, but for whatever reason, they've just been dragging their feet for us to utilize the money. We have a timeline to use it. And then one evening I was on one of the sessions where we paid a lady to come in and do some work for us, and it was trash. It was disgusting. I was so upset. And in my head, I'm like, my baby could do this with her eyes closed. Like, and this is a whole woman we're giving all this money to. So I was like, hey, this is what Ari does. Let me go ahead. Let me put a proposal together. I was kind of scared. So I hit Tamara, and then she was like, yeah, like we walked through it. And then she told me what to do. Pulled a proposal together because I know the ins and out of the grant. Boom, I did it. And I was kind of feeling nervous and good at the same time. So long story short, we kind of went through a yes, and then it kind of turned into a kind of like almost a no.
Mhm.
And then I just started, basically where I am now is just like I was telling somebody, I want to work on my emotional intelligence. I don't want to get angry and upset and pop off, because the no is a stupid no. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So for me, I'm just trying to pull myself together so I can go back and like talk to them. And like Tamara was telling me, I'm in this space now. I need to analyze the no, and it's okay, because I can walk away from them and do other and better things with my child or for my child. But what I don't want to do is continue to do the work for free for them. And I know we have the money, and it's something my daughter could do. So that's the space that I'm in right now, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole, so did you get a chance, just to follow up really quickly, did you get a chance to, has anything happened since last we spoke? I know you're gonna reach out
No,
to,
waiting
okay,
for them, waiting for her to call me back. I did reach out to the president for her to talk to her, to get a chance to talk to her. That's the other thing. It always seems like things just drag over time because it takes so long to respond.
yeah,
But I know she's gonna call me back, because I have a deadline item for her. Like I said, like they want me to go get somebody else, and that turnaround time is fast because the money need to be spent at the by the end of this month, and we're preparing for holidays now at this time, basically.
yeah, there's not a lot of time, and they asked you to get it done quickly, and now that they've wasted a whole nother week.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so you're just kind of in the waiting game. Does anybody have any ideas or feedback or anything you want to ask Nicole? I just don't want to start talking and not give you all the opportunity.
So I guess the question, maybe so people understand, like, I guess being in that space of analyzing the no, I don't know if anybody has experiences with it. What's your suggestion to kind of work through it, I guess?
What type of class was it that she was teaching?
Ariana was going to teach the like young girls how to write a book using AI, Chat GPT, and like how to do illustrations for the book.
I
And it
would do
was
my
going to
own
be,
work. I would do my own workshop. I would have her start doing it so people can see that this is what she's capable of doing, if she's not already doing it already. But basically showing up more so that they can actually see, like, oh, so that they can know that that no was like a mistake. um, and that could possibly snowball into other opportunities as well. But I would create my own table.
Gotcha. Yes, ma'am.
How does that feel, Nicole? Thinking about that.
Empowering because like I said, that's controlling my emotions, right? Instead of getting angry with them, it's just like, yep, and then boom, we go and do it. And the thing is they know she's capable of doing it. So yep, thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's good. Who was that? Was somebody else getting ready to talk?
No, I was saying no problem.
Oh, I thought I heard somebody else. Okay. Yeah, so I absolutely agree with that. And one of the things I'll share with the group that I was talking to Nicole earlier about the no is and it kind of goes towards what Tashanta just said is I was just hearing the passion in Nicole's voice and like what she wrote about her experience with these people and just like this like parent manager like this we're wanting to advocate for our child and wanting to say like no my kid really can do this, right? And then have people second guess or say no or treat us differently just because my child is however many years old, right? It's a real yucky feeling, and it's a feeling that only really we can understand. A lot of people don't experience it because most parents with their children wants to what their child wants to do, it comes down to the no happens or the reason that child can't do it is because of skill level, meaning like he wants to play the violin but he was terrible at it, or he wants to be a swimmer but she doesn't know how to swim or whatever, you know what I mean? It comes down to skill level, or it's like we can't afford, or some other barrier that's not someone directly looking your child in the face or sending you an email saying your child, the answer is no, even though we're completely qualified and we have everything we need to do it, the answer is still no. It's just because of a technicality, because of the rules, because she's not old enough, or because he he whatever, he can't be the CEO without you on the business paperwork. Silly stuff, I think, but whatever. So what I was sharing with her was like, kind of what I did when I was managing all of that with Xandra. And unless it said, and this is part of Xandra's signature talk, like unless it says no Xandra's allowed, like it specifically said in like the small print that she was not accepted or allowed, that meant there was still a chance that we can make it work. And if making it work meant we had to build our own table so we can have our own seat at that table and invite other people to have a seat at our table, then that's what we had to do. If making it work meant we had to go back, get some stuff together, get things in alignment, and then ask again, show up again, fill it out again, pitch again. Or no meant we already have everything together and we're going to pitch again, ask again, email again. Like it just meant like we're not taking, like, no, because it doesn't make any sense. So we're going to keep trying, or we're going to look for other opportunities that are similar to this or that would create the same type of experience for us that this would with other organizations. So I was telling Nicole, like, there's other organizations that also have money to spend. So you already built the proposal, you already have the emails, you already have everything. You did the work. So when we talk about building our assets and our arsenal of assets, she already has the assets because she did the work. And so stopping with the first no would just be ridiculous, right? It would just be like, no, that's not who we are. So everything's already built. We might as well now we can just pitch it to 5 or 6 other organizations. It's just that simple. So the worst case scenario here means what we were hoping to happen just doesn't happen right now. It doesn't mean it can't happen in Q1, Q2, Q3 next year. You know what I mean? And so that's where we're at. And I think there's a lesson there for all of us as we continue to work in our business and we get opportunities and then they don't pan out, or if we get opportunities, when we get opportunities and we decide that we no longer want, it's no longer looks like an opportunity to us. It's an opportunity, but maybe not for us. And we are the ones that say no. Sometimes we know we should say no to things, but we say yes to them because we're like, dang, I don't want to miss out, right? So it's like having that faith in our systems and our process and our ability and our business and what we built and our child to know that a new opportunity is already around the corner. Like it's already on the way because it was already promised to us because this is what I'm meant to do. So nothing's gonna stop that. Tashanta says, no, it's temporary. Absolutely. The no is temporary. So, Nicole, was that helpful?
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Hey, Sasha. Sasha joined us. Reese joined us as well. All right. So who's next? Keisha, let me know if you want to jump in, or if you still need more time, that's fine. Those of you that are just coming on, I did a recap of like talking about end of the year reflections and how I want us to start to think about and utilize our simple plan planner as we go into the new year. If you can find some time in the morning and the evenings to start thinking about your end of the year reflection, so that way you don't slam into like the last couple of days of December feeling like you have to do all the things, feel all the things, write out all the things, or plan all the things for the new year. I don't know if you're one of the people that fall victim to that like societal pressure of new year, end of the year, going into the new year drama. But that's what we talked about in the beginning, and how we really just need to kind of create a space for ourselves, and give ourselves an opportunity to reflect and really think about what we want, what worked, what didn't work, and find the wins in every single season of this past year. Because if you give yourself the space to find them and to look for them and to reflect on them, you will find them. Reflect on everything, you'll find the wins. You'll be able to pluck the wins out. So who's next? Does anybody else need support? Come on the hot seat.
Quick question.
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Word document that you had on the screen that you were talking through when you were explaining this, is there a link for it with those questions on it? Or where do we find that at? Because I came in while that was on the screen.
I'll give you the link right now, but I didn't add those questions on it, but I can add it if you want.
Okay, thank you.
But what I just wrote out and what I showed you, that's the link to it there. All right, who's next? What are y'all working on? What do you need help with? Is everybody in chill holiday mode? I know April said she's working on getting a product out into the world. Anybody else go timing, or is everybody slow timing?
I'll go because I probably can't stay long, even though I'm late. This is Reese.
Hey, Reese.
So I've been working on this fair with ISIS.
What are the dates?
Yesterday, the first day was Monday, and it goes through the 23rd. Thank you to Shanta. And I'm so behind on Voxer, and it gets so overwhelming. I'm like, oh my God, 200 missed messages. But yeah, so yesterday was, well, our first day was Monday. No, must have been, yeah, Monday. I got ISIS right after school. It was like 30 degrees. She was miserable. She was not talking to the people because she couldn't feel her hands or her feet.
Oh my goodness.
But we well, I definitely didn't have I wasn't prepared clothing wise. And the heater that they had wasn't doing anything. So that day didn't go great. But the next day, no, not the next day, yesterday, I was there from 12 to 7, which is forever. And I was dressed better, and we just like did better. I wasn't there by myself. There was another family and their kidpreneur.
Right. They were there the whole time too?
No, they didn't rest, because in the morning it's fine with like one person. So it's not until like after work that sorry, I was getting a call. Yeah, it's not until after work that you need like multiple people there. But it's going okay.
So
Not
what does
as
that mean? Tell me what it means, like in regards to connections, interactions, or are we talking sales?
all the above. There was like some drama in the beginning. One of the parents who I don't even know what happened. It doesn't even matter, but somebody who was supposed to be in there is not, and that person had all kinds of plans to like bring press and stuff. And so that kind of fell through. Um, so yeah,
Okay.
that was disappointing. I don't know what kind of backup plans are happening. I kind of reached out to a couple people to see who knows people. But yeah, that part was disappointing. And also people are just because the kids don't come till after school. And so people
So
come
they-
to the booth and they're like, "Where's the kid?" Like, on their lunch hour or whatever. And we're like, "They're coming. Come back at like 5."
to meet them, right, right.
Yeah. Um, but yes, it's gonna be a long 2 weeks. I still have the same goal of just selling out of all of her inventory.
So
Um,
based on the 2 days that you just did 2 days this week?
me personally, 2 days, yes, but it's been open for 4 days.
Okay, so based on the 4 days, do you feel like, because I know initially when we spoke about this, there was like a little anxiety, like it was like, I'm gonna do all this because it's supposed to be a big deal, but I don't know if it's gonna be a big deal. So I'm not really sure. Am I wasting my time? Should I
Yeah,
be doing it? So like, are you settled in any of that? Like based on the results from the last 4 days, are you feeling like we made the right decision, we're in, or oh no, like what are you feeling? What's
kind
happening?
of neutral, kind of neutral. And I mean, it is definitely a big deal, the market itself, as like what it was hyped up to be. Like when I was first on my way there for the first time, I like typed the name of the market into Waze and it came right up. I was like, oh, like even Waze knows about this. And the only reason I even did that is because every time I told somebody about it, they were like, oh yeah, I go there every year. Or like, oh yeah, me and my parents are coming to town and I'm gonna take them this weekend. Like, so even though I never heard of this thing, I was
It's
like,
a
oh,
whole
like,
thing.
yeah, it's a whole thing. And getting there, yes, like it's huge. There's so many vendors and it's like live music all day. Like it's a big deal.
Well, that's
And
awesome.
it's a lot of foot traffic. There's a lot of people there, but it's like the culture of the market is like the vendors kind of sit back in the back of their booth and just like wait for people to come in if they want to. Whereas we're used to being out in front and being like, "Hey, come over here." So
Right.
it's it's a little not awkward. Well, maybe awkward. It's awkward for the kids, I think, because the parents are like, "It's okay, go out there, say things," but nobody else is.
Right.
So they feel weird about it, understandably so. Um, but also the placement of the booth is kind of off, so you have to do that. Like they put us right next to the main stage, which sounded like it was a great idea, but all the other booths are like across from the main stage, so people aren't really looking over
By the main
at
stage.
where we are.
Right.
So it's definitely been a learning experience, and 4 days, like every day gets better, like we do like a whole like wrap up at the end of the day, see what was sold, and every day seems to be getting better, so it's good. Isis is not looking forward to going back on Saturday, but we're going in the morning, so it shouldn't be as cold. Hopefully she smiles. um
I love
but
it. The parent managers like stress her. Hopefully she smiles.
yeah,
Hopefully she acts like she wants to be there. I still say those things. The file is view only. You should be able to make a copy of it, but here's a copy version. Let me know if that works. Sometimes Google Doc be. Well, I'm excited for you because it is a big market. And so I think if nothing else, the experience, but it's a heavy lift. It's a big commitment, time commitment, right? So,
mhm.
um, I say maybe brainstorm some ideas on whatever day you're not going to be there and someone else is taking over, where you can actually think of like, okay, who else is here? How do we maximize this experience for ourselves? You know, are the other people in the community that have been wanting to buy, other connections that you've made that people are like, we'd love to support you. Then you can send them to your store now that you have the store for 2 weeks, right? So the display is gorgeous. It's super cute. So I think like, if there's any other you know, like the hospitals and any other these major connections, it's like if you're looking to buy gifts for the kids or looking to buy gifts, like even the schools, like this, I feel like how do we capitalize on the fact that you have a storefront at this market for 2 weeks, you know? So kind of think, so a little bit of the out of the box thinking in regards to bringing people over or in. The other thought I had for you, because you mentioned press and PR, there's nothing wrong with putting together your own press release and saying, hey, Kidpreneur booth. I feel like Tamika, I'm surprised she didn't already do it unless she was depending on that person to do it. But if she's asking for feedback, I think she absolutely could put together a press release and send it to the local media. Since this event is already a well-known event, there's nothing wrong with, I think the press would pick up on the fact that this is the only Kidpreneur booth at the entire market, right?
Yeah.
So any press would be great press to get them there, you know? And then also maybe doing a quick Google search of the last week. You know, you can do a Google search and then go to your filters and then search, put in the thing and see if there's anyone else reporting from there or any other media booths. Like sometimes like Macaroni Kids could have a booth there too, or have some kind of presence, or maybe a radio station is there somewhere. Maybe use a lot of radio stations are the actual DJs. Then you can reach out to them and say, because maybe there's an opportunity for the kids to come on stage or to get announced, or you know, if the radio station knows that there's of all this whole event, there's like, you know, this many kidpreneurs at the market, and the kids aren't there during the day, but we need to let people know because it's the first time ever, you know, like that kind of, you know me, I'm very dramatic, that kind of thing. Maybe they'll be like, oh my gosh, I had no idea. I bet you you'll get a lot of I had no ideas, and people would want to think of ways to support and bring more traffic to them.
Yes.
Reese, I'm
Okay.
sorry, where's the market?
Right?
Where is it?
I know. It is right by the Verizon Center, where the Wizards play. It's right next to there.
Oh, okay. Like 8th Street.
Yeah.
6th and 8th. Okay, got you.
Yeah. It's, what is it? F and 9th, to be exact, I think. But so you never heard of it either? The holiday market, the downtown holiday market?
Reese is hilarious.
Not since I've left DC. DC is not for us anymore. So no, we didn't partake in that when we were there, when I was there.
Yeah. I'll ask Tamika about if she did any press anything. I was gonna say something. Oh yes, semi unrelated, but I think important is, I think I'm really, I say this every time, you know, we've talked about like making the kids do stuff, and I don't make ISIS do these things, but it's definitely me being like, I think this is really good. I think you should do it. If she were to say no, then we won't do it. But she always is like, oh, okay, fine. But I think I'm really realizing like the vending piece, even though it's so good for business, like it's just not her thing. And I shouldn't do them. Like I shouldn't sign her up for them until she actively is like, let's go do some vending.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of us can probably speak to that. I definitely remember feeling very sad when my daughter didn't want to vend or had such a bad experience with vending, because I feel like as parents, we're so resilient. We just like, but it worked. Like we see,
Yeah.
this is a big market. There's visibility. We talked to 100 people today, where they see, I had to talk to 100 people today, right? They don't see the bigger picture. And if it doesn't make dollars and cents, and even sometimes when it does, it still doesn't make sense to them. It's like not worth it because I could have been doing something else. And I think that's just a part of the youth, you know, and them being young and kids. But I think I know I had to strike a happy medium with Xandra and being like, okay, like this is the perfect time to do it. Like we're gonna do one event a quarter or one event a month. That's what you're committing to. And the rest of the time, that means if we're not gonna do that, that means you have to go hard on social media. That means you have to, if you're gonna not do this piece, we have to consider these other pieces that have to be done that still yield the same or similar results. Because the
Yeah.
visibility had to be there. So it was like, well, then we have to work on you becoming a local celebrity. What does that look like? Because then that's the only way people are going to be able to, you're going to draw people to you to come find you for that once a month or once a quarter event. Or that's the way you get people to still come and buy 2 snaps, even if you're not there.
Right.
There's strategy involved, but it took a while for us to be able to do that, for me to be able to get her to do that. So similar to the market that you're at, we did 3 seasons. Yeah, I'll say seasons because it was 2 summers, 1 winter, which sounds weird, but we did a summer, winter, and then we came back to the summer with Canal Side, which is like the downtown waterfront here in Buffalo. It was brand new, and like it's like in the summertime, it's an ice skating rink, and it turns into like the little huts and vending. We were there, but we actually had a Zandra store where they took these like cool, cute little shipping containers. Ours was yellow. It was so cute, and then we turned the shipping container into a store. So it's very similar to what you're in right now, but the whole thing was ours, and we were able to merchandise it, set it up, and everything. But she had to go to school. Right? I had to go to work. So we had to ask for help and have volunteers and other people help. And the only way we were able to make that work for 3 seasons and still make money is because we had to build a name for the business outside, and then people still, and go crazy on social media. So people still knew to go and support her, even though she wasn't there. So we kind of like weaned people off of having to see her, or they wouldn't buy. So it wasn't easy at all, but it is possible. Think that's what I'm trying to say, is that it is possible for you to still build a name for the brand where people will buy whether she's standing at a table or not. Because initially people are just trained to hear the story, see the cute little face, and then they want to support. But that comes along with, that's what we're talking about, is building brand recognition,
Yeah. Okay. That's encouraging.
Yeah.
I can see that as a potential future possibility.
Yeah, it gets better. I promise you, it gets better. It gets better. Okay, Keisha said that is encouraging and makes sense. Yeah, I had to figure it out. I remember being so sad. I was like, what are we gonna do? You don't want to vend. What do you mean? And but see,
Yeah.
I made this mistake, whereas I would go toe to toe with my kid, because my child was very feisty. So she would be like, I don't want to do it. Like she said, I changed my mind. And I'm like, what? We had a meeting. What do you mean? Like, how do we do? Like, no. Yeah. So like, we're like so similar. We would be like, it'd be war over here over the holiday market at my house. Because I'm like, we already committed. I already paid my deposit. I already got the stuff. I already, so then I was like, okay, Tamara, we have to change this because we cannot fight every single time. So that's when I was like, all right, how do I make, and then I had to give her the space, whereas your kids are already doing this, and I had to learn this, right? I had to give her the space, and I had to create a space where she could feel safe sharing what she did and did not like without me ruining it or having an attitude or her feeling like I was going to fall apart or she was going to, or whatever. So even though we don't punish our kids, sometimes our attitude towards the thing they say or do feels like a punishment to them. You know what I mean? So it's like that disappointment feels very yucky and like a punishment. So I had to be very, very careful and aware of that. Even today, I'm very aware of it. Like certain things. I mean, and it doesn't, it changes, but it's still something similar. Even at 23, with me being the parent manager and her being the entrepreneur, this thing she's supposed to show up for. And she's like, I'm not going. And I'm like, say what now? You're like, what? She did it yesterday. She was like, I don't feel like it. I was like, if you don't get in the car and get your butt over there, get over there right now. And then we'll talk about it, because here's how you're going to plan it next time, because then you can cancel ahead of time on time, like with respect, it's been on the calendar. There's no way you're not going. So we can have those conversations. And she's like, I know, I just want to see what she was going to say. So.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
something
I've had to tell because my mother is like the most supportive. She's like the two snaps, what do you call it? Ambassador for
Ambassador.
whatever. Like everybody knows, anybody she knows, she tells, and she likes to come to every single vending event. And she came with us on Monday. And I had to tell her, like, don't talk to her. Because she will be quick to be like, say this, say that, go talk to him, look over there. And
Yep.
then then it just goes downhill, and so she gets so frustrated. But I had to tell her, like, just be quiet. We're just gonna sit here.
That's it. That's it. We're already in it.
Right.
We're in it. This is the experience, Grandma.
Yeah.
This is the experience. Oh my goodness. That's good though. But thanks for sharing that, Reese, because I feel like we all learn from that. Keisha said I had to learn not to be overzealous. Yeah.
Mhm.
They're like, here she come, being all
Mhm.
it's like, what? Exactly. Because they're like, I'm the one that has to do the work. You just telling me what to do, and I don't want to hear what you have to say. It's our whole thing. There's layers to this. Keisha said because it was turning them off, and I wanted it more than them. Exactly. Same. We
Yep.
all resonate with that. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Let me share this doc again. I think this is the
I think Sasha has her hand up too.
hey Sasha. Let me change this view so I can see everybody. I can see hands.
Hey, thanks, Keisha.
I was waiting to go. I'll say it.
Oh,
I'll go
I
after
couldn't
you.
see. I can't. Okay, I had high whatever participants. That's why I couldn't see you. I apologize. What's up?
It's all right. I just wanted to chime in on that because my daughter and I just had that conversation. So at one point she was crazy over one of her things was slime, and she said to me last night, she doesn't want to do that anymore. And we had to like do a little negotiating just along the lines of everything that was shared. And I was like, okay, how about you finish up your supplies, get your money back, and then you never have to do it again. And she kind of agreed as opposed to just going all in. And it was kind of like focusing on what the point of it was, because I really don't care what she does as long as she likes it and that she's learning the principles behind it, because then she could do it with anything, right? And that's really the goal. But
I
then
like
again, for her, I didn't really invest in all the things yet, right? So I just kind of look at it like, okay, she's learning, she's trying, and that's the point. I don't want to discourage her and go all in with all the practical stuff, because really they go by their feelings at this age and younger. It was a little bit harder when she was younger though. But no, I kind of get it. So, kudos to you, Reese, um, on being that insightful. I don't know that I was that insightful when my kid was younger.
Same. Same. I had to learn the hard
I
way.
learned from tomorrow.
Because now I have a story to tell. Because I messed up so many times. I can tell you what did not work. Keisha said that's it, Sasha. And Sasha, I love that you said so many lessons there. Like, okay, use up what you have, make your money back, then you don't have to ever do it again. So it's not like, oh, it's okay to go ahead and quit and waste this. No, no. Like this is, you said it, so we're gonna finish it. And that's what this looks like. Oh, let's discuss what this looks like, right? And then so that way they understand, and no matter, I'm not going to just to keep throwing money after everything you decide to do next. I'm going to always support you, but this is what that support looks like, so that both of us can be happy and whole in this situation. Like I can't give you up all my last or be stressing out and struggling over here while you're the only one happy until you're not. And then I got to deal with that too. One other thing that Sasha said, she said, and that's the point. You said it in like mid-sentence, you were like, she's just trying, she's learning, and that's the point. Sometimes I think as parent managers, well, just as women, really, in like any type of relationship, we just we put so much on it, put so much stake on it, like stakes, or the stakes are so high, like it's so heavy. It's like all or nothing, right? Like we don't think, well, she came and set up her table. That's the point. Right? Like she learned, she said she was interested. She spoke to me and told me she had an idea and we worked through this idea together. Maybe that's the point. Maybe it wasn't for me to take it, the idea, run away, order all the supplies, and then build the snowman in the kitchen when she came home for lunch and be like, we're gonna sell them for $50 a piece. And it's like, hold on, crazy mom. You missed the point, right? It was just for us to have this moment, or it was just me exploring something, right? So I don't know if Sasha, if you meant it that way, but that's how I took it. It's like, that's the point. So sometimes we gotta back up and think, did we miss the point? The pain or the embarrassment or the annoyance or the anger or the whatever feeling, the angst you're feeling around this thing, is it because I pushed past the point?
That is exactly how I meant it. And I mean, just wanted to share a win. It's not really about the thing, it's about their way of being. So I can tell you that my daughter turned 17 this fall. And after bumping her heads and doing all the things and wanting for her, like she's finally stepping into a place where she's wanting for herself and not afraid to fail. I think when she was younger, I pushed so hard, she was scared to even try, right?
Mm.
And I consciously had to like just back it up, let her find her way and encourage her and like, okay, it's okay if you fail. Just give it a try. What feels good? And along those lines, the point is for them to really find their voice and what they love. That was my goal for my daughter. But I think I was so intense a lot of the times. Um, she really thought, okay, it's just me. I'm the only one who doesn't know. And we had to go back to the drawing board. And I was like, no, nobody knows. It's all an experiment. There's no right or wrong. It's just what works for you. And so she's coming into her own now based on those experiences. Regardless of what that outcome is, she's stepping into her confidence. She's speaking up for herself. She's trying new things. And that is really what we want for our kids, for them to be who they are, their whole selves.
Right. Yeah. And for them to be all of that, whether we're in the room or not.
Yes. And that's what I just got leaving the twin school just now, that very same thing. And that made me feel good knowing that they do have that integrity and they are who I wanted them to be. And I was pushing because yes, I had money tied up in things and I had invested and I did want it. I mean, even like, with the pageantry where she started and some of those moms, it wasn't the kids as much as it was the mom. I mean, and she had an encounter with a kid and she was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. But I've learned from her the mistakes I've made with her not to do a Zion. So I kind of baby step it, which is why I'm still here, like over a year later, because I realize it is a process, and I'm kind of like just trusting it and letting it go where it goes. Some days, she's on, especially now that she started her menses. Some days she's on, and some days she's off. But like the other day, Zion did a taping. She was like, "Oh, well, why didn't I?" I said, "Oh, I thought you were only interested in modeling there. That's what you said." And no, I'm work for you when you're ready to work. Like, this is not my dream. I have my own. You figure yours out. I've given you the tools you need. Let me know where I can assist.
Right.
And that's why I said I had to stop, being so overzealous because I was getting, and and that's what I look at what Sasha said. What experience did we get? Did she have a chance to learn how to do X, Y, and Z? She can go and set up her own table now. When she gets ready, she understands, now her money, what to do with it, how to re-up on her supplies, how to take inventory before we do an event. And, if she doesn't want to vend anymore, and like I told her, I said, you're going to keep on being broke. I'm going to look at that box of books and I'm going to go sell them when I get broke. You telling me you don't have no money. You shouldn't. You should. Because I'll be canvassing my neighbor's doors.
Get my seed money back.
Yeah, I mean, I did that, pre-sale, but but yeah, no, I'm like, it's her lesson to learn, and I just, I had to step back from that. So, it was definitely a word that Sasha gave because I was like, yep, that was me.
Yeah.
And she's only 11; they're only 11, so I'm like you said, to my building a brand. People have to, because now people are coming to me because they are getting to know the brand, and not even asking about Zaria. I have to bring her in. And this wasn't my brand. This wasn't my dream. This was hers. And she done went and sat down.
Listen, that's a whole nother lesson right in there. When the parent manager steps out from the shadows, Taquin's experiencing that right now too.
I see. Yep.
Yeah. When you like It's like, and it can be both. But I think it's
Mhm.
important also for us as parents to let our children know that I shine too, because we spend so much of their life putting them and
In their
holding them
shadow.
up like Lion
Yep.
King, like
In their
you, the
shadow.
only one that gets the sun on your face. Mommy will stay back here and die a slow death. And it's like, wait a minute, mommy needs some sun too, and then they be like, so I think it's like a shifting that conversation to that's why a lot of the things, even with raising a mogul, is shifted from the kidpreneur separate from the parent man. Then I brought in the parent manager aspect, and it was like, this is a family experience. Like we all can elevate together. We might not all be on the same track going full steam ahead at the same time, because sometimes I push a little bit, sometimes you push a little bit, sometimes I gotta push you a little bit. Like, but we all going in the same direction, which is up, according to our own ideas of what success looks like in our own family desires and goals and aspirations and whatever, individually and collectively. So that's really good that you said that. Really good. Great
Mhm.
point. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Um,
Keisha, you
I-
already talked. What you got?
So I'm concerned about a few things. So I am starting at Zari's outside of the other opportunity. I'm starting an after school class at their school January, February. And so I asked, I said, well, do you have any, because you saw the framework I did for those classes, but I asked her, did she have anything she wanted to add to them? And she's like, no, 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 no. I'm just wondering how this is going to be. I kind of jumped out there without thinking about it, and I'm like, maybe it's going to be too close for comfort with her and her peer group. How have you encountered anything like that?
You mean you'll be going and pushing in to teach us like the
I'll be
social
the instructor. Yeah.
for her class?
I mean, not necessarily her class, but it's an after school program. So Excel be on the bell. So anybody at the school can sign up for it and
Right.
then
And
listen
so
to my
is
class.
your concern is that she will also sign up for it and she'll be sitting in front of you in class?
Yeah, and I don't want to do harm to our relationship,
Well, I
business,
think what that looks
professionally or
like,
personally.
yeah. So what I think that looks like is you having a real candid conversation with her ahead of time and say, mommy's, this is what mommy did. We already talked about the dream, right? So this is the part of my dream is to support young people and to do this and to, serve our community in this way. And the first opportunity, this current opportunity involves your school, your friends, and you. So how do you feel about that? Right. And just giving her an opportunity to kind of share how she feels. She might be like, it don't matter. She might secretly be like really wickedly proud of you, which is probably where she's at once she understands what it all looks like and how big of a deal it is. But I do think giving her the space, like creating a space where she can actually you share how you feel about it and that that you are concerned about it. And only reason you're concerned is because you're worried she might be concerned or how you want to make sure you show up for her, and she
Mhm.
doesn't feel like there's school mommy and at home mommy or whatever, like how do we work through this together so that how do we work through this together? Question mark. And then what kind of pact or agreement can we make that if anything gets weird or we have any feelings, we're kind of committing to be transparent about those feelings and those
Okay.
conversations. You know what I mean? So if she wants to join, she can. But if there's any point where she's in the class and she has to be corrected or the conversation gets a little weird or there's a transparency moment and she, give her the permission and not be involved if that's what she wants to do.
Okay.
But you also can't have an emotional attachment to her doing what you gave her permission to do, if that's what you give her
Right.
permission. You know what I mean? So that's how I think the conversation should go. And yes, I do have experience with it, but not really from Xandra because I never taught any of Xandra's things in this sense. But I do have experience because when I was in high school, my father was who they called for crisis management. When I moved to Buffalo, I went from going to like the all white private school to like the all black school in the city that had metal detectors, which was culture shock galore. But my
Right.
dad was already on was crisis management for like the city of Buffalo, police chaplain, fire department, all the things. So like when he got shot, he was there. Then he would come in and teach a series of like grief and like conflict resolution classes. He was I sat on stage next to my father at my graduation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And guess what we didn't do? We didn't have that conversation that I'm recommending that you have with your daughter, because I was annoyed. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't even know if I really like you. And you got a yellow stash and I got a yellow stash. Today's my day.
Right. And yeah, I
So,
don't want that. Because
yeah.
it's
So I
always
was
been her
like,
and me in the
mm,
shadow.
yeah.
Like, I
And
mean,
as
we
you
were
can
laughing about
see,
it the other day, me, carrying the dresses and, we've always been, I work for her, and so
right.
now it's
Well,
like,
that's the conversation right there. Keisha, that's the conversation is imagine us switching roles. We support each other. When it's your time, I am here. I will bring you your tea. I will carry your dress. I will do it. Now I need you to stand in for me. And that's what this looks like. I don't need you to carry my dress or heat up my food or whatever
mhm,
the things you do when that pageantry is the whole experience. But she can understand that. You know what I mean? But I need you to give me the space to now explore my next opportunity.
right. Okay.
And she's totally mature enough to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, she did good when we had the beta sessions, but it was just her peer group. So now it's anybody in the school can sign up from 6th to 8th grade. Um, and I'm sure, a lot of them will because, when I go there, like when I was doing the pies giving, the kids were running up to me, hugging me, and the other moms were like, "Oh, you know everybody," and I'm like, "My kids know everybody, so they know me."
Right. Well, this is an opportunity for her to see what the local celebrity looks like. And I think that's excellent. I think it's great.
Okay.
I
And
think
I
it's
guess
great.
the other point we could talk through because I didn't realize, like I said, when I signed up for this opportunity, I just thought it was at one school because they were trying to give me more than one school, and I was like, "Oh, no, no, no! I just want to, get my feet wet, see what it looks like." Um, so then they ended up getting me because they said, "Well, you should pitch to the county." That was what it was at first, and I was like, "Oh, no, 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 that's okay. I just went to one school." And then it came to you have to pitch for the county. But I was already in that one school. I learned afterwards, and now other people are interested. And they're like wanting to put it in like the recreation catalog so people could sign up for it. So I guess, when you return or when you have time, I guess I want to look through, the framework that I did, the courses, and see which one is worthy of posting like in the recreation or the activity catalog for the county.
Do you
And
have
like
the
doing
requirements of what posting in the recreational activity catalog looks like? Like, is it one class, one program, a series? Like,
it can be any of those things. Like there are people that teach swimming at 10 a.m. every Sunday. There are people that teach something every day.
got it.
So it can look like any of those, but yeah. So I
Okay.
don't know, I don't know if it would be a series or yeah, I don't know. So that's something I guess that we could talk
But you
to.
do know what the opportunity is and what the options are that you can choose from, right? You can kind of
Yeah,
say,
yeah. I could just go
oh, I
into like
want
a facility or rec center and offer a class.
awesome. Okay.
But that's
Yeah,
scary.
it is. But we need to start thinking about the money, and then see how many of these classes do you need to teach? How many things do you need to touch before you make enough money so you can hire somebody to help you?
That's what I need. And that's what they asked me. Do you have anybody, on staff? And I'm like, not really. I mean, yeah, I just, yeah, that's
So that's why
something
we
for
need to
real
talk,
that I
because we
need to
talked about
talk.
the contracts and stuff, and we mentioned money a little tiny bit today about, but we didn't really get down to like what numbers look like, because then we have to go back to that materials list in the
Yes.
lesson plans and see what that really looks like, because we need to make sure it makes sense for you.
Hmm. That's why I'm scared because you're going to leave us.
I'm
And I
not
gotta give
leaving
these people,
you.
I
So,
gotta give
okay,
these people
everyone,
this
I will be
contract.
off next week. I'm having surgery in the morning at 6:30 in the morning. 6:30 in the morning, which means I have to be up and I have to do all these things they told me I have to do before I get to the hospital at 6:30 in the morning, and I'll be there all day. Hopefully I won't have to stay tonight, but I will be there all day. But I'm not doing anything this weekend, like nothing. And then next week I've like cleared my calendar for next week. That's why a lot of you are like, I can't get on your calendar. I'm like, because I cleared it because I'm having surgery and I'm supposed to be off for 10 weeks, but I'm only taking 1 week off completely from the world. And then I come back to you all, and then I'll be talking to you all in like starting after next week. And then I come back to the world after like the second week of January. So I'm still not following the orders, but I'm gonna figure it out because I made a plan and I designed my life so that what I just said to you is going to work. So feel free to email me, not email me, don't email me. Do not email me. Feel free to box me and still tag me wherever you're tagging me. And then I'll just be slow to respond. I'm not saying I won't respond next week. Just know that I am trying to take it easy next week and just focus on recovering. So I'm saying that here in the public setting because I don't think I had said it yet in the public setting. All right.
You said that you were having surgery in the morning, but you didn't say how long you were going to be gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's it. So does anybody have any questions about that and how it's going to work? Or concerns? Don't be concerned. I'm here for you. I'm just taking a small break so I can get myself together. And I'm actually y'all gonna think I'm insane because I'm documenting my journey. I've been recording myself for the last couple of days, which is very interesting. And so, yeah, I'll let y'all know when I'm ready for the world to see them. Just the real stuff people don't tell you. They don't talk to you about. So I'm just I just felt like I needed to like release it. Sometimes I'm like, I just need to talk through this. So I might as well talk through it on camera. So that's what I decided to do. Yeah. So does anybody else have anything that they need to talk through, work through? Is everybody good? I feel like tonight was a really great conversation.
Yeah, today was very real.
Yeah.
I do want to say nothing I have to really talk through, but I wanted to say my attendance has been spotty for the last couple of Thursdays because I have another commitment that's colliding with this one. So just wanted to let you know that for until the spring, my attendance is going to be really crazy. But I also want to, just so that you're not wondering what's going on out here, but also that I'd love to be able to connect with you on your calendar at a time that works, just so that I can stop dragging my feet and be accountable and do what needs to be done.
Absolutely. Let me share the link for you to do that.
Thank you.
Right now. I know Patrice, Tashanta, by the way, thank you for getting Patrice that link.
How far in advance, like how do I just book for that specific month or can I book further in advance?
You can book further in advance.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of people that do that. And then anyone that's looking for something, or if you like this and it shows that I don't have the availability, just box me. That's the right one. Yeah, just box me. Like Patrice has some end of the year things for example that we have to work through, but I took off. I'm off next week, and then some of y'all have already booked your sessions, like all the way. I think I told y'all, like Reese's all the way booked her February session. January, February. So, if they're, if I need to open up more space or do another day or be more flexible, then I'll do that. Okay. So just let me know. And that's what I told Patrice earlier today, because she's like, I need to figure out, because they have a new project that we work on every year that's actually going to be launch, like she should be talking about it now. So, and she hasn't been. Keisha, you say evenings. Most of my calls go up until 6. How late you need?
I can take a 6. I always see like 5, as an ending time. But you know what? Maybe my challenge was the Tuesday because I have class on Tuesday.
Oh, it could be just a Tuesday. Let me see. Hold on, I'm looking. This is this one, and this is consulting. This is all right. So I'll add some. Keisha, can you send me another box to remind me? I know you told me that, but then we decided to work through it on Voxer. So
right,
that's
and
why
that's what I was saying. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, as long as you're okay with that. But if you do need to, like, I can just add you on my calendar. You don't have to go to the link. And this is for everyone. Like, if you're like, I can't, like, Nicole had some pressing things we needed to get on the call. That's fine. We can do that. Okay, so the calendar exists so you can get ahead of yourself and we can all be organized. And I can plan for you. And that's why I ask you, like, what do you want to talk about in the session? And then you can plan for you. So all those things. But if it's like, I have this thing I have to submit, so we need to talk it through. If we can't talk to an unboxer, then we need to get on a phone. We need to get on a phone call or get on a Zoom call. Phone calls are not off limits either for y'all, because people be emailing me like, "Can you call me?" No, I cannot. I will never ever. But I will call y'all whenever you need me to. We'll talk about it. But the reason phone sometimes I still have my my Uber conference link. Because I liked, the way I learn and process, I need to be able to watch things back or get a summary or recording. So that usually I record everything just so I can not lose track of anything. So that's why phone calls are usually not, but I can give you an Uber number, which is fine. All right, friends. I hope you guys are amazing. Wish me luck. I'm not wanting to go in the kitchen and eat food right now because I'm starving. And
Sending prayers for speedy recovery.
thank you. I'll send y'all a message, let you know I'm safe. Life is good. You guys are amazing. Awesome.
Don't box us while you high.
Oh no, I'll be high for like 3 days. They're like, yeah, it will take 36 hours. I'm like, oh, great. Yeah. Worst part of this whole experience, I can't drink wine at all. I haven't been drinking. No wine, nothing fun. Want to live life like that. Thank you all. Seriously. Yes, Sharika, send help. All right. I'll talk to you all. Have a great one.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night.
Good night, everybody.